Okay, hello everyone. Ang lecture natin ngayon tungkol sa cognitive psychology. Ang title natin, Paano Hindi Magsayang ng Oras. Before I dig deeper into this question, gusto ko lang muna magbasa ng passage from the Bible very connected to this topic. Teach us to number our days aright that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Sa wikang Pilipino, kaya ituro mo sa amin ang pagbilang ng aming mga kaarawan upang kami ay magtatamo sa amin ng pusong may karunungan. So, very important itong passages na to kasi may kinalaman to sa correct way of looking at our time, which is, yun nga yung topic natin ngayon. Ano ba yung tamang paraan kung paano natin dapat tinitignan yung oras natin? Kasi kapag marunong tayo tumingin ng oras natin in the right way, it will prevent us na magsayang ng oras. So, klaruhin muna natin, define, ano bang ibig sabihin ng sayang ng oras? Paano mo ba malalaman na nagsasayang ka na ng oras? Which by the way, it's not good for our psychological growth. Para masabi mong nagsasayang ka ng oras, ito yung mga bagay na dapat mong tignan. Or this is the way we define sayang oras. Any activities, both physical or cognitive, na walang naiaambag na mabuti sa sarili, ibig sabihin, yung ginagawa mong activity walang kinalaman sa purpose mo or mission mo sa buhay at sa ibang tao. Yung activity na ginagawa mo hindi ikinakaganda, walang contribution sa growth ng ibang tao. So kapag meron kang activity na ginagawa na pasok sa dalawang yan, walang kinalaman sa purpose mo, other people are not benefiting from you, then nagsasayang ka ng oras. One good example of activity that falls into this definition would be yung nakatulala ka sa hangin. Maghapon kang nakatulala sa kawalan, nagsasayang ka ng oras. Bakit? Kasi kapag nakatulala ka lang, I'm sure hindi yan purpose mo sa buhay. Walang ginawa ang Diyos na ang purpose niya tumulala maghapon sa buhay. And number 2, for sure, yung pagtulala mo sa kawalan, hindi yan nakaka-contribute sa welfare ng ibang tao. Hindi sila tumatalino sa'yo, hindi sila yumayaman sa'yo, hindi sila nai-inspire dahil sa ginagawa mo. So in that example, yung pagtulala sa hangin, pagtulala sa kawalan, klarong-klaro, pagsasayang ng oras. But in this lecture, hindi ito yung pag-uusapan natin, hindi yung pagtulala, but I want to discuss a very popular activity in the Philippines na maraming tao gumagawa pero clearly pagsasayang ng oras. And what is that? Clue. In this slide, yan, makakuha kayo ng clue dyan. The Philippines is known to be the social media capital of the world. Paulit-ulit na yan in the previous years, no? Yan yung bansag sa atin. We are the social media capital of the world. Which tells you that in the Philippines, isa sa mga activities na talagang maraming tao ginagawa, yet isang klarong definition ng pagsasayang ng oras is surfing the social media. Surfing the internet. Just to give you an idea, gaano karaming oras binibigay ng Pilipino sa pagsusurf ng internet, specifically sa social media. 2019, around 4 hours 12 minutes daw ang ginagamit ng mga Pilipino everyday just to be in the internet. And by the way, ihabol ko lang to, 76 million ng mga Pilipino gumagamit ng internet, specifically social media. So ganyan karaming oras ang nauubos everyday among Filipinos. Pero syempre dumating ang pandemya, mas naging close ang mga Pilipino sa internet, lalong-lalo sa social media. Yung 4 hours 12 minutes na yan, umakyat na yan last 2022 sa 10 hours and 56 minutes. Halos mag-11 hours. So you see that big jump, no? From 4 hours to 12 minutes. Yan. Nung 2022, naging almost 11 hours na. And the thing is, karamihan ng mga tao na nagsusurf ng internet, lalong-lalo na sa social media, yung pagsusurf nila sa social media falls into the definition of pagsasayang ng oras. Maraming mga tao habang nagsusurf ng social media, wala namang naiaambag sa self-development nila. They process information in the social media na wala namang kinalaman sa purpose nila. Yung iba pa nga, opposite ng purpose nila eh. Marami mga tao nagsusurf ng social media, hindi na nakakaambag sa development ng ibang tao. They are not contributing to the value of other people. In fact, just the opposite. Marami mga tao ginagamit yung social media para siraan ang ibang tao. Para bumaba ang value ng ibang tao. So if that's the way you use the social media, then that means nagsasayang ka ng oras in social media. I-note ko lang dito, kaya ako to highlight, hindi naman lahat ng tao na nagsa-social media, sinasabi ko, nagsasayang ng oras. Hindi lahat. Okay? So again, paano mo malalaman if you are one of those people in the Philippines na nagsasayang ng oras in the social media? Pwede mong gawing test itong definition na to. You reflect, how do you use social media? Kapag sa social media, kapag sa internet, ginagamit mo yan at wala ka namang naiaambag sa sarili mo, hindi ka naman nag-grow, purely for entertainment purposes lang, then, pwedeng sinasayang mo lang yung oras mo. Or, kung nagsa-social media ka para manira ng ibang tao, hindi ka nakaka-add sa value ng ibang tao, then, baka, sinasayang mo lang yung oras mo in the social media. But let's accept the fact here, no? Let's be fair. Hindi naman lahat ng tao ganyan gumamit ng social media. May mga tao naman, whenever they use the internet or social media, nagde-develop sila. 'Di ba? Meron silang purpose. So, gumagamit sila ng Facebook para ipakalat yung gospel. Gumagamit sila ng Facebook para mas maging magaling sa career nila. Yan. Pwede naman yon. Or gumagamit sila ng social media to inspire others, to add value to other people. If that's the way you use social media, then hindi ka isa sa mga taong nagsasayang ng oras in the social media. Kaya nga sabi ko dito, hindi naman lahat na gumagamit ng internet and social media nagsasayang ng oras. Depende yan kung paano mo ginagamit. Kaya I want to establish that here, no? At this point, I want you to realize that you need to reflect how you use social media. Kapag yung usage mo ng social media pasok sa definition ng pagsasayang ng oras, then it's not a good thing. Kailangan i-reverse mo. Para masabi mong hindi mo sinasayang yung oras mo sa internet, sa social media, dapat hindi ka papasok sa ganitong definition. Dapat baliktad. Habang nagsa-social media ka, nagde-develop ka, nag-grow ka as a person, habang nagsa-social media ka, nakakatulong ka sa ibang tao. Yan ang tamang panggamit ng social media. But anyway, balik tayo sa topic natin na paano ba hindi magsayang ng oras. We start with this principle. Remember this, treatment of time depends on how you see time. Kung kukumpletuhin mo tong fill in the blank of time is blank, yung sagot mo dyan will determine how you will treat your time. Kaya nga under to ng cognitive psychology eh. Remember in CogPsych, we study thinking process. How you think about your time will determine how you manage your time. Kaya very important itong sagot mo dito eh. Time is blank because this will determine kung sasayangin mo ba yung oras mo or i-value mo. And let's go straight to the point. Dahil ang pinag-uusapan natin dito, pagsasayang ng oras, ano ba ang cause? Kung bakit maraming tao nagsasayang ng oras? Wala silang problema in wasting their time? The answer is, kasi nakikita nila yung time as something that is a surplus. Marami pa akong oras. Yang ganyang thinking na yan. Yan ang mataas na magpamotivate sa tao na mag-aksaya ng oras. The moment that you think that you have a lot of time, you have a very high tendency to waste your time. So kung ilalagay natin to sa isang conceptual model, psychological conceptual model, it looks something like this. Kapag inisip mo that you have a surplus of time, most likely, malamang sa malamang, ang ending mo, you are going to waste your time. Kasi sa buhay, ganyan naman, no? Meron tayong simpleng logic. Anything that is scarce or kulang, we value. Anything that is surplus or sobra, most likely we waste. I-apply mo yan sa iba't ibang mga bagay in the world. No? paper. Halimbawa, estudyante ka, meron kang paper, pero konti lang. Very limited lang yung yellow pad mo. So, less likely, sasayangin mo yung yellow pad mo. Hindi mo gagamitin yung konting yellow pad na yon para mag-drawing ng kung ano-ano. Hindi ka basta-basta mamimigay ng yellow pad kung kani-kanino kasi nga, limited lang yung yellow pad mo. You value your yellow pad because it's scarce. Ganun din sa food. Hindi natin sinasayang yung pagkain natin pag alam nating merong taggutom. Wherein food is extremely limited. Pero, bakit maraming nasasayang na pagkain sa buffet? Maraming mga leftover sa buffet kasi ang tao alam na marami namang pagkain dyan. So, nagiging careless yung tao sa pag-value ng pagkain, knowing na maraming pagkain. Anything that is surplus, you waste. So, the same principle applies pagdating sa tubig. Talagang tinitipid-tipid mo ng todo yung tubig pag alam mo na kapos kayo sa tubig. Pero pag nag-uumapaw kayo sa tubig, walang kaproblema sa yung magsayang ng tubig. Ganun din sa pera, and of course, our topic for today, ganun din when it comes to time. When you sense that you have a lot of time, most likely, you will have no problem wasting it. Kaya nga in developmental periods, no, i-connect natin sa DevPsych, ang developmental period na pinaka nagsasayang ng oras ang mga tao is during adolescence. Kaya ang mga teenagers, marami mga activities papasok sa definition ng pagsasayang ng oras. Because a lot of these teenagers, meron silang thinking, meron silang assumption that they have a lot of time. Bakit daw? Kasi bata pa raw sila. When they look at the developmental period that they are in, such as in adolescence, yan. Tapos ikukumpara nila kung gaano pa sila kalayo sa pagtanda or sa pagiging matanda, ang layo pa ng space. So when they compare where they are to old age, obviously, iisipin nila, ang dami-dami pa nilang oras. At yung ganong sense of feeling na marami ka pang oras makes them want to waste a lot of their time. They do a lot of things na walang kinalaman sa self-growth, walang kinalaman sa contribution to the life of other people. Which is, by the way, speaking to teenagers right now, no? Kung isa ka sa mga teenagers na ganyan yung pananaw mo sa buhay, iniisip mo marami ka pang oras kasi ang layo mo pa sa old age, that is erroneous. Maling framework yan. Mamaya as we go along, i-discuss natin bakit maling framework yung ganong pag-iisip. Naisipin mo marami ka pang oras kasi bata ka pa. Kasi malayo ka pa sa pagiging matanda. Alright? So anyway, ano ang susi para ma-undo natin yung thinking na marami pa tayong oras? Yan ngayon yung mahalaga nating pag-aralan. Because there's no other way para hindi ka magsayang ng oras. You have to undo. You have to convince yourself na marami ka pang oras. Yan yung susi. The moment that you are able to undo this kind of thinking, that's the only time na mai-stop natin, maihinto natin yung pag-waste ng time. Okay? So, paano natin gagawin yon? We have to process two concepts para ma-convince natin yung mga sarili natin that we have we don't have a surplus of time. Paano natin to ma-undo? You process time, you process debt. Pag-usapan muna natin yung time. Okay? Ano ba ibig sabihin ng time? How should we look at time the right way? Para hindi natin sinasayang yung oras natin. Number one, you have to understand that our time is limited. Limitado lang. We don't have infinite time in this world. Let me demonstrate, and I hope you do this exercise. I want you to count. Opposite, 5 to 0. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. What does that mean? Your life is 5 seconds closer to death. One more time, you do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Your life is 10 seconds closer to your death. One more time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That means your life is cut 15 seconds closer. You are 15 seconds closer to your death. And that is true. Every moment that we are in this life, every breath that you take, every minute that passes by, every hour that passes by, our life, our time is being cut shorter and shorter. So yung oras natin, never yan na dumadami. Constantly, habang nabubuhay tayo sa mundo, nababawasan yan. That's how you should see time. It's never adding up. It's always going down. Number 2 is death. Many people forget that letter A, death is guaranteed. Lahat ng tao siguradong mamamatay, walang exceptions. And letter B, other than it's guaranteed, we don't know when. Hindi natin alam kung eksakto kailan tayo mamamatay. It can happen anytime. Siguradong mangyayari, hindi natin alam kailan. Anytime. And I want to emphasize the word anytime here. Kasi maraming mga tao ngayon merong maling logic about death. They think death comes with age. Akala nila ang death may kinalaman sa age, which is wrong. A very quick reminder for those of you who are listening, death is not determined by age. Age does not cause death. Hindi yung edad yung pumapatay sa tao. Kasi kung totoo yan, ibig sabihin dapat walang matanda. Lahat bata. But you look at the reality, hindi naman ganun eh. Maraming mga bata na matay na. At maraming mga matatanda buhay pa. So that means age is not causing death. A 15-year-old high school student can die later, while a 60-year-old lady can live 30 more years. Mamamatay siya ng 90 years old. So wala sa edad yung indicator kung malapit ka nang mamatay or hindi pa. Kaya nga going back to my example a while ago, no, sa mga teenagers, mali yung ganyang thinking eh. Yung i-assume mo na malayo pa yung oras mo, marami ka pang oras simply because hindi ka pa matanda, illogical yan. Mali yan. Kasi kapag ganyan ang thinking mo, you are assuming na aabot ka ng old age. Pero alam naman natin na hindi guarantee na aabot ka ng old age. Gaano ka kasigurado na dito ka aabot kaya sinasabi mo na marami ka pang oras? For all you know, baka mamaya ubos na ang oras mo. For all you know, baka mamaya bigla ka na lang mawala. Hindi ka pala umabot ng old age. Kaya pinaalalahanan tayo ng Bible, no? Sabi ni James, you do not know what tomorrow will bring. Ano raw yung buhay natin? Para lang mist. Napakabilis, napakaikli. So ganyan ang tamang pananaw when it comes to time and death. Kaya nga in connection to this, gusto ko lang din i-correct, no? I want to take this opportunity to correct the misconception of the term untimely death. Usually sinasabi to kapag yung tao na-feel na masyadong maagang nawala yung isang tao. Again, I find this concept erroneous. Although I respect the feeling of people saying this. Siyempre, dala lang din ng kalungkutan, no? Pero, existentially speaking, this is a very inaccurate term. Untimely death. Because when a life ends, hindi aksidente na nag-end yung life niya. Kasi pag sinabi mong untimely death, it's like assuming that God made the mistake in taking that person away. Which is not correct. The moment that a person is brought into this world, yung oras na meron siya sa mundo, predetermined na kung gaano karami. Kaya kapag yung taong yan namatay yan at young age, it's not right to say untimely death. Yun lang talaga yung oras yung binigay sa kanya. Again, the time that we have in this world is already predetermined. Maganda yung sinabi ni Job dito, since his days are determined and the number of his months is with you. In other words, God predetermines how much time you have in this world. So there's no such thing as untimely death. When somebody dies, it's always the right time that that person dies. Because that is the only time that God has given to that person. Okay? So going back to our framework, saan nanggagaling yung motivation? Bakit nagsasayang ng oras yung mga tao? Surplus of time. The moment that you are able to undo this, kapag na-ekis mo to sa isip mo that you have a surplus of time by thinking about time and death, kapag tama ang pananaw mo sa time and death, then that's the time nabababa yung motivation mo to waste your time. Mapapalitan mo from waste to value. Para mangyari yan, again, you have to see your time as something that is scarce. And I hope in this lecture, I was able to help you kung to convince yourself that time is scarce. Again, remember, the nature of time is always going down, and the nature of death, it can happen anytime. We wouldn't know hanggang kailan na lang tayo. So kapag ganun yung thinking nyo, then that sense that your time is scarce will enable you to value your time better. Kaya pwede rin natin i-connect to doon sa sinabi ni Elizabeth Kubler-Ross about death. Diba, in psychology, si Kubler-Ross, very popular on death and dying. She wrote a book about that. You can just read this on your own. Pero anong sinabi niya? One of her quotable quotes. You can just read this on your own. But her point is, when you think about death, it makes you more spiritual. It adds more value to your life. When you think about death, you realize how time is so limited. Ano nangyayari? Mas nagiging spiritual ka. You begin to prioritize the right things. You prioritize spiritual things. Kaya in a way, if you are aware of death, you always think about your death. You always think about how short your time is in this world. It's a good thing for our psyche. Kaya pwede mo i-connect dito yung sinasabi sa Psalms eh. Yan yung ibig sabihin ng number our days. Dapat constantly aware tayo, constantly conscious tayo that life is short, that time is scarce. At ano ang benefit? Ano ang psychological benefit kapag ganun na yung pananaw mo about life? That life is short, that time is limited, nagkakaroon ka ng heart of wisdom. Sabi sa Bible. And translate that in psychological terms. What does it mean na meron kang heart of wisdom? You have learned how to value your time. Now you prioritize things that are really important in life. Things that really matter. God, your mission or your purpose in life, self-development, your relationship, serving others. Yan lang naman talaga ang mga mahalagang bagay sa mundo. And you begin to prioritize these things the moment that you sense that you have so limited time. Pero baliktad, kapag sinabi mong marami ka pang oras, kaya mo to hindi naiisip eh. That's the reason why people don't think about this, kasi ang programming nga nila is surplus of time. So I hope you see the wisdom here, no? Na kapag naando mo yan, kapag nabaliktad mo from surplus of time, naging scarce of time, then you value your time better. Okay? Now, in closing, I just want to use this as a case in point in connection to everything I'm saying here. No? Case in point here is the books written about the regrets of the dying. Marami mga libro na isulat na dyan, no? Or even scientific researches done about this topic. The reason why these people regretted these things is because those were the times that they thought they had a surplus of time. At ito yung mga bagay na hindi nila nagawa. Think because they think that they have surplus of time. Pinagpaliban nila, tinake for granted nila. Ano daw pala yung mga regrets na yon? Ano yung mga bagay na hindi nila ginawa? Because they thought they had surplus of time, yang mga yan. Actually, iba-iba ng versions, no? But basically, they overlap. Now, what do you notice? What are these things that they regretted? Things that they did not do? Because they thought they had a lot of time? Ayan. Usually, spiritual things. They missed the spiritual things. They did not prioritize the spiritual things. Why? They thought they had a surplus of time. So I hope you can see the connection here. Kapag inisip mo that you have a surplus of time, it leads to waste of time, which means you are not prioritizing spiritual things, which yun naman talaga yung dapat mong pinaprioritize. And this lowers down the quality of your life. Kaya maraming tao ngayon feeling empty, feeling unfulfilled because they are not doing spiritual things. Why? Di balik ka ulit sa framework, because they're wasting their time. Why are they wasting their time? Because they think they have surplus of time. O, kaya again, in this lecture, anong tinuro ko sa inyo? How to undo this. How do you convince yourself that you don't have a surplus of time, rather, your time is super limited. Kaya ang closing application natin ngayon, medyo weird, medyo morbid, but it's the truth. If you want to improve the quality of your life, if you want to learn how to better manage your time, you think about death. You always have to be aware of your own death. That every moment that you have in this world, every breath that you take, every year that passes by, it cuts your life shorter and shorter. That's what it means to apply this sum. Teach us to number our days, alright, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. That's the only way to convince yourself to live wisely, to live wiser. Aware ka na yung oras mo konti na lang. Kaya sabi rin ng isang author, no, in connection to this, without being conscious of death, you can't be fully aware of the gift of life. You begin to live the right way kapag conscious na conscious ka about how limited your time is. Kaya sana yung mga mahilig dito mag-Facebook, yung mga mahilig dito mag-social media na hindi nyo naman ikinaka-grow, wala naman kayong napapala, hindi naman kayo nakakatulong sa ibang tao. Sana tong lecture na to makapag-convince sa inyo na nagsasayang lang kayo ng oras. Again, nakaka-disturb yung mga statistics na yan, no? 4 hours, 12 minutes, 2022, 10 hours ang nauubos sa Facebook. If you really understand this lecture, yung motivation nyo to surf the internet mindlessly, surfing the internet, surfing social media, na sinasayang nyo lang yung oras nyo, sana mabago. Because again, remember how limited, how super limited our time is. What should be our response? We value it more by prioritizing things that really matter, spiritual things. Alright? So, yan lang yung maikling lecture natin about paano hindi magsayang ng oras. Sana naturuan ko kayo to convince yourself na hindi magsayang ng oras. If you have questions or comments, ilagay nyo lang dyan sa comment section. Sir Howard here. Until the next lecture, God bless everyone.